morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla is here with this live stream. We're gonna get into it, you know what I mean? We're gonna get into the bullshit. We're gonna get into the bullshit. Because it is indeed bull to the shit. You understand what I'm talking about? So we're going to get into it. We're going to touch on it. But anyway, good morning. How's everybody doing? Freedom March, Freedom Family, Freedom Lover, Freedom Fighters. Once again, Snapzilla Gorilla, a.k.a. The Definition, is here with the morning paper. With the morning paper. It's official. It's official, y'all. Israel is the most insidious, diabolical, and evil country in the world. I might be exaggerating. But nonetheless, Israel is on a mission, and I've been telling you guys for quite some time what that mission is. And, you know, they continue to work toward completing this mission, which is to spread their empire across the Middle East. For now, right? That is the mission. And they will use every excuse. They will use every excuse, every reason to go about those ends, right? They'll make shit up. They'll insert themselves. They'll do whatever it takes. In the latest of their "What's good, Stray Godzilla?" Salute to you. The latest thing that they have done, right, is bomb Syria. They bombed Syria recently, last couple days.
Watch out, vehicle on
multiple times, and they for a reason that is none of their fucking business, right? Now the history behind some of the background of this goes back a very long time. You're in North Carolina? Oh, that's what's up, man. Salute to you, man. How long you gonna be out there? You gonna be out there for a minute? Because I'm sure you're going back to the Philippines ASAP, right? But Israel has committed forever. You're staying in North Carolina forever? You're not going back to the Philippines? Israel has committed a crime against another country by bombing Philippines next year? Oh, okay. Israel has committed a crime against the people of another country for reasons that have for some shit that has nothing to do with them. But it's just an excuse to terrorize, in my opinion, to terrorize countries that don't agree with them and don't believe that they are supposed to run the world, right? And Israel is doing that, and it's using resources provided by us, the United States, to do a lot of the things that it does, right? Including free healthcare, free education, bombs, bullets, training. You know, they have access to all these resources thanks to the United States. We give them billions of dollars a year for them to do what they're doing right now. And right now they are using what we gave them, and they're using our alliance to terrorize. Now, here's the reason that they give. It's because a certain sect of Islam, right? People of a certain sect of Islam in Syria that are part of the Syrian government, according to Israel, they are basically so this certain religious sect in Syria, according to Israel, is basically terrorizing a very esoteric sect of Islam, Islamic people known as the Druze, right? D-R-U-Z-E. Now, the D-R-U-Z-E was established like in 1100 BC or AC or something like that. A very long time, right? After, of course, the establishment and the foundation of Islam. And they have an interesting belief system where they believe that the gods of Islam, Christianity, Judaism is all the same God. So they're basically kind of like a mixture, right? Their religion is basically a mixture of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism or Judaism, right? The Jews, right? The Abrahamic faiths. It's kind of a mixture of those things, right? And they have a belief that once you become a Druze, you can't convert, right? You can't convert back. You can't change. You stay where you are. Well, that's how it is with Islam in general, right? Once you convert to Islam, once you accept the Islamic faith, you cannot convert to another religion. You can't denounce the religion, or you'll go to HE double hockey sticks, right? That's the belief. Well, it's the same with the Druze, except they don't really fuck with other sects of Islam, right? They try to, they're isolated. They mind their own business. They only exist in certain regions, and so they have been clashing with other sects of Islam within Syria. Now, one of those other sects happen to be a sect where they are backed by the government, right? So, in Israel's mind, these clashes are basically persecution of the Druze, and so what they've done is they bombed the forces that are, according to them, attacking the Druze, right? So this is the reason they're giving for bombing the shit out of Syria. So they bombed them once, right? And they told them to pull back. Israel bombed them. They said, get back, leave them alone, all this, that, and the third. And when that didn't happen fast enough for them, they intensified the bombings, and they threatened to intensify the bombings if they didn't back away, if they didn't leave those people alone. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe in persecution of any people, right? I don't. I don't believe in it. You shouldn't be terrorizing and attacking other people simply because they don't have or share your belief system. But at the same time, if I'm in this country and there are some clashes between different groups in Chile's, right? In Chile, the country of Chile. And I believe one side is more righteous than the other. I'm not just going to go simply attack the side that I don't agree with, right? And this is the problem. Israel is not minding their own business to the point where they're bombing and killing people that they don't agree with in the clash. So all we have to go by is what Israel says, right? They said that the Druze are being persecuted. They say the Druze are being attacked for no reason because they have a different belief, right? And they feel like they have to protect them and take up for them. But here's the funny thing about that. Stray Godzilla says Israel's going to run out of wars. Yeah, we'll see about. I hope so. They just need to knock it off, right? They're just itching to cause devastation all around the Middle East. Stray Godzilla says, I can't reason with Zio Nazis. That's funny. No, you really can't. And like I said, man, if what Israel's saying is true about, you know, these I forgot what the other sect is. You got the Druze and you got the other group. It's an Arabic name, and I can't remember the name to pronounce it right now, but I mean, all we have is Israel's word. This is what Israel's telling us.
Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Israel's telling us that this is happening. But I think they just want to bomb the shot out of Syria. I think they want to annex more of Syria than they've already have, right? So a little bit of history. Back in the 60s, the 1960s, Israel had a war with Syria. I think they called it the 62-day war. Donnie, whoever the fuck, asked if I have a political science degree from Trump's University. No. What I am telling you is what actually happened. I'm telling you what the news said. I'm telling you the information that came out. I don't know what you're talking about with the political science bullshit. But Israel bombed Syria under the auspices of protecting the Druze people. So this bullshit about Trump University is just a way to try and distract from the main point. The main point is Israel is up to shenanigans again, bombing countries that they don't like. Anyway, back in the 60s, Israel was at war with Syria. They called it the 60-something day war. And they ended up seizing the Golan Heights, right? And within this Golan Heights, there was a population of the Druze people. Yeah, 7 days, whatever, however many days it was, I don't remember. 7 days, yeah, not 62. Because it happened in the 60s, and I'm thinking 60-day war, but no, you're right, it's a 7-day war. And they seized and they took the Golan Heights, which is now annexed into Israel, and a population of these Druze people remain in the Golan Heights. Now, here is why it makes no sense for Israel to intervene on their behalf. Because Israel wanted to give the Druze people citizenship, and they rejected it. They didn't want to be Israeli citizens. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to. They just wanted to stay where they was at, in the Golan Heights, a strategic plateau, right? The Golan Heights is a strategic plateau of Israel, and the Druze people did not want to become Israeli citizens. So that should tell you that they don't want or need anything from Israel, right? So why is Israel attacking Syria on the behalf of the Druze people who have people that have a population of people within Israel that don't even want to be Israeli citizens, right? So Israel just made them like naturalized citizens or whatever the fuck you want to call that. But they aren't Israelis. They aren't Israeli citizens. They didn't want to be a part of that. They just wanted to stay where they was at. And Israel allowed it. Right? So it sounds like, I don't know a lot of the history of the Druze people. I know that they've been around for a while. Sounds like, you know, they just want to be left alone and mind their own goddamn business. And at the same time, they probably didn't ask for Israel to bomb the country they live in to protect them. If anything, this is what Israel should have done if they really wanted to protect the Druze people. Well, offer them asylum. Say, hey, you're being persecuted by members of the Syrian government who are opposed to your religious beliefs. So why don't you just come over to the Golan Heights and join your brothers over there, because they're already Druze citizens within Golan Heights, and you'll be very well protected. The first answer of Israel, the first thing they want to do with anything, with anybody that opposes their will or disagrees with them, is bomb the shit out of them. That's what they did to Iran. Because see, they were trying to convince other world governments, including the United States, for decades, particularly Benjamin Nosferatu. They have been trying to convince the world that Iran was going to gain so much nuclear strength, and they were going to just start launching nuclear missiles all over the place, and try, you know what I mean? That is what Israel has been trying to convince people for decades. And finally, they were like, you know what? We can't wait no longer. They're ready to act. They got itchy trigger fingers, and they want to bomb the shit out of any Arab country that opposes them. Syria is no different, in my opinion. It's no different. Salute to SWE Walking. Yo, big boss, keep the eyes on the road. I appreciate that. They're on the road. Why does Israel get the spaz? Because
watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
It's kind of like the same reason Saudi Arabia gets the spaz, right? They have a special relationship with the United States, and a lot of J's control a lot of things in the United States as it is, and so it's easy for Israel to get what they want and do what they want without any real consequences. It's very simple. It comes down to relationships. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to relationships. And the relationship that Israel has with the United States gives them carte blanche to do as they choose. Right? Yes, Ivaka Jeranovic. The U.S. fuels the problem. Exactly. Because we coddle, and when I say we, I'm talking about the United States government. And unfortunately, we are the subjects of the United States government, and however the world views the government, our government, is how they view us. They don't separate them, just so y'all understand that. They don't separate them like I separate the Israeli government from the Israeli people. Like I separate the oligarchs that exist within our country that are Jewish from the proletariat Jew that lives their daily lives, that does not have desires and machinations towards world domination, They just want to live their life. I know how to separate it. But no one around the world separates the people of the United States from its government, right? And so that's just how it works. But yes, we are beholden to Israeli to a certain degree. And so we ain't about to tell Israel what it can and can't do. If this were any other country than Israel, and certain other countries, it's not just Israel, but if it was some other country, let's say Russia attacked the Ukraine because the Ukrainian government was attacking Russian sympathizers, and Russia decided to bomb Ukraine because of this, and say, oh well, we're just protecting, the people that want their part of the Ukraine to become part of Russia. You know what I'm saying? So we're just defending them. This would not be accepted. No one would accept that bullshit, right? No, they would want Russia to be sanctioned. Because you can tell Russia to do the same thing. Well, if you want to protect these people, just tell them they can come on over to Russia. Give them refugee status and give them asylum. You know what I mean? Because there are all manner of atrocities all over the world being committed by governments towards the people. And no one is just going around bombing them, right? No, certain countries will offer asylum to them. They understand, look, we know you're being persecuted. Damn, was that a white wolf? We know you're being persecuted, and we don't want you to suffer. You can come over to the United States and get some level of asylum. You gotta, get refugee status and all that shit. But we don't just go bombing people, just, right? That's not how you do it. Because first of all, you have your own country's affairs to think about. Yes, exactly, like Ukraine, like Cuba, Nicaragua, Panama, right? Now, there were some interventions in Panama and Nicaragua, right? But that had nothing to do. That had something to do with something else, right? The bottom, and like, yes, Cuba. What did Cuba ever do to America? Nothing. But we're not bombing Cuba. We just have an embargo on them, and they put, I think that embargo got lifted actually. We just, we don't fuck with Cuba, right? And, we put sanctions on Cuba, and we make it difficult for Cuba to trade all over the world. But we're not bombing Cuba. Yes, Cuba sided with Russia. They allowed Russia to bring, armaments into Cuba for strategic purposes in case they needed to attack the United States. You had the Bay of Pigs that y'all should look up. Look up the Bay of Pigs. The bottom line is, even then, when Cuba aligned with Russia during the height of the Cold War, and I think it was the 1960s, Kennedy was president, and there was a big scare about Russia launching, possibly going to launch nuclear missiles into the United States from Cuba. Did we just go over and bomb Cuba? No. There was some conflict, but look at the reason. Frank Amarillo, absolutely not. America has zero influence over Saudi oil. You're absolutely right about that. It's not because the religious sects he wants to delay his trial. Who are you referring to? Yuki G. Who are you referring to? I don't think I saw the previous comment that you made. But yes, now, do other countries have to basically convert to the U.S. dollar to buy oil from OPEC? Yes. But at any point in time, Saudi Arabia can remove that, can allow countries to not have to do that, like they've done with China and Russia and other countries. Yes, on the other side of Russia is Iran, yes. Listen, there's a lot of shit going on over in that region that has a long history. All these conflicts have been in place and have been ongoing. They just have been different degrees and different levels over time, right? There has been armistice periods, there have been wartime periods, and there have been shaky peace treaties. But these things have been going on for quite some time. And now that Israel has the armaments and they have that Iron Dome, they feel like their balls have grown, and so that they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want over there. I don't understand when we will realize that hey, my sentiments exactly. Because I want us to understand that all this is possible. All the things that Israel is doing is possible because of us. Because of our money. That the money that I earn, the money you earn. Hold on. My bad, y'all. Duty called, man. Frank Amarillo says, America needs to secure its borders, raise its income for every citizen, and most importantly, shut the wallet to the rest of the world that doesn't benefit us as citizens. I agree 100%. That is a great start. That is a great start. I talk about that all the time. I talk about withdrawing all the troops from everywhere, bringing them back here, unless they're somewhere where it's really beneficial to us. I think like Japan, certain countries maybe, that we know are gonna ride for us like we ride for them, right?
Shoulder ahead.
But maybe like 80 to 90%. Bring them all back here. Stop. Yeah, cut the funnel off. Cut the funnel off to these other countries. I don't believe we benefit in any of the least from this unbalanced relationship with Israel, right? This alliance we have. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being aligned with Israel, but the level at which we give to them, what we give to them, we don't receive nearly half in return, right? I don't see any real benefit from the level of things that we give to Israel and the level of like the funding, the money, the aid, right? What are we getting in return? What do we trade with Israel? Like what, you know what I'm saying? This other YouTuber, BFTB. Now he's a sports channel. He has a sports channel, right? A boxing channel, and he also has a another channel that has nothing to do with boxing, but other than boxing. He made a great point when he said that when he was, because he is a veteran like myself, except he is a combat vet. I'm not a combat vet, right? Fortunately, I didn't have to go over and kill a bunch of people, for this greedy ass government. Thankfully, I did not have to do that, but he had, right? You know, of course, at the time, you're not thinking about that. You're not thinking, oh well, because you sign up to carry out those orders. You know, you go in knowing that, right? You believe that you're doing these things for the right reason. You believe that you're going into Iraq for the right reasons. You believe you're going into Afghanistan for the right reasons. But most of the time, by the time you find out it's not the right reasons, the damage is already done. You're already served. You're already out of the military, right? And this is kind of something that happened to him. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to go through that, right? I got out before we invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, or right when it was happening. I had 90 days out, right? And I was done. I was getting out. But anyway, where would I go? You might not be asking me that question. But look, the bottom line is this. He said when he was in Afghanistan and Iraq, he did he went over there 5 different times. He did 5 tours, 5 combat tours during his career. At no time did he ever see an Israeli soldier. At no point in time had he seen an Israeli soldier getting into firefights with him on his side. You know what I mean? It's zero. No IDF at all whatsoever. Right? Now, we had other countries there. You know, you had the UK, you had some other countries, right? And but Israel was not there. They weren't there. So even during times where we are in conflict with other countries, we get no assistance from them. They don't help us. So this relationship is a one-sided relationship. Frank Amarillo says the problem is relying on government for anything. I agree. Humans have done for themselves for thousands of years. What did the Roman government do for them? Not a motherfucking thing. The Aztec government, none of them. No, they used them, they abused them, they extracted from them, right? They used them as slaves, they used them as servants. They made peasants of them, right? They stole, they squandered all the resources of the land for themselves, right? They hoarded everything, and you know, you wonder why the peasants are looking grungy and dirty, and they're skinny and damn near famished. Well, because these governments are going out in the woods and everywhere, and they're killing and they're doing all the hunting. They're not allowing the people to hunt for themselves. They're doing all the hunting. They're doing all the foraging. They're extracting all the resources in the land, and they're keeping it in their castles so their fat kings can sit up there and eat everything and laze around and rule by fiat and get gout. Greedy motherfuckers. This is just evolved over time. This is something that is ongoing. It just evolved, right? It evolved. When that no longer worked, when the model of the monarchy no longer worked because of the rebellions and because of the uprisings and because of the inbreeding leading to problems within the royal families, they had to change the model. Exactly. King Pork Chop. What makes today's government any different? Nothing. Just smoke and mirrors. They won't even tell us who the Child Island. Oh, yeah. No, they won't, will they? But see, now, like I said yesterday, Donald Trump is saying there's no client list, right? It's wild work. It's insidious work. But that's what we got going on, y'all. And in Israel, there is no benefit to us from Israel. They are bombing countries for whatever reason they choose. So are they going to bomb a country that has conflicts within it? Because they're just going to bomb and attack the side they agree with? I don't like what's going on in Lebanon. Oh, I don't like what's going on in Libya. I don't like this. I like this group less than I like this group. They're fighting each other. I'm going to attack the group I agree with more. That's not how this shit works. What's going on between that one sect and the Druze sect is not affecting Israel at all whatsoever. And we're just supposed to believe that they're just attacking the Druze out of nowhere just for no reason, and the Druze, they're just so helpless and they need us to bomb. Listen, Syria is the country that the Druze exist in. It's their country as well. So you're going to bomb one half of the country to protect them on their half of the country. Well, you just bombed half the country. You just disrupted the entire region. You think just because you bombed one side's land, you think that is not going to affect the other? No. But they don't give a fuck about none of that collateral damage. They don't give a fuck about none of the rebuilding, the contamination in the water, disruption of supply chains, and no, they don't give a fuck about none of that. People think that, you just drop a bomb on a country, you destroy some buildings, and that's it. No. There are after effects. There is trauma, right? There are physical after effects. There are mental after effects that affect everybody in the country. You bomb parts of Syria, you think, it's just a problem for that side. It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. They are trying to destabilize the entire Middle East. They're trying to destabilize the Middle East so that they can take over. And you saw Donald Trump was trying to turn Palestine into new Las Vegas. Right? And Israel's like, nope. Goddamn, this motherfucking truck running people off the road, huh? Okay. See, y'all think I ain't paying attention. But I just saw this truck try to run this Wrangler off the road. It's fucking crazy. These motherfuckers, boy, the drivers in the Southeast is wild as hell. Y'all have no idea how many stupid drivers I had to defensively drive against. It's out of control. While I'm on live stream and off live stream. It's wild. David said, Barbosa says, very true. Yes. True Truck Patch says it's a drug cartel. You talking about Israel? You said Israel's a drug cartel? I don't know about that. But what I do know, in my opinion, they're trying to destabilize the entire Middle East and make it easier for them to take over. That's what they want to do. My whole life gives you emotional damage, then why are you here? I don't understand. If you want me to keep my eyes on the road, stop typing. That don't make no sense. Y'all some wild people, man. I have never, the lacking of common sense is out of control. If you don't want someone to be distracted while they're doing a live stream and driving, then you should not type. You fucking idiot. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. See, y'all think you idiots that sit up here and tell me to keep my eyes on the road and stop looking at this and that and that and the third. Stop reading the chat and look at the road. It's people like you that lack in common sense. It makes no sense to do that. Right? But, you know, I have to explain this every day. So at this point, it's part of the learning. It's part of the teaching. If I don't want somebody to do something, right? If I don't want someone to be distracted, right? Then I'm not going to call attention to myself, thereby distracting them, right? I'm going to keep my fucking mouth shut. Sometimes, well, every time you connect your top lip to your bottom lip, you shut the fuck up. The same thing goes for when you remove your finger from the keyboard on the screen, you don't type shit. There's no typing to be said, to be given for me to be distracted from. So, just like you can put your top lip to your bottom lip and shut up, you can remove your fingers from the keyboard or scroll the fuck up and keep your fucking words out of the chat so I won't be distracted. How about that? Do I need to give this disclaimer and preface every time I do a live stream on the road? I think I'm gonna do that from now on. If you don't want me to be distracted, if you feel like it's a problem for me to do a live stream and talk and glance at a comment, then don't type. Don't write it in the chat. And that will be one less comment for me to be distracted by. Does that make sense? Are y'all getting me or what? Air Jordan, salute to you. Good morning, man. Let's see where you driving. Driving to your mama house. Wherever that is. I'm driving to your mama's house. So why don't you call the popo and tell them I'm headed to your mama's house. And tell them that you know, I'm driving and doing a live stream at the same time and have me get a ticket. Turn the camera. I don't think you want them to know where your mama live. I don't think you want them to know that. I think you want to keep your mama's address, your mama's house, off of the internet. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put her in that position. She's been very good to me. She likes to buy me things. And she's one hell of a cougar, I'll tell you that. She's one hell of a cougar. She doesn't need, you know, lubrication just yet. She hasn't gone through full menopause just yet. So it still gets that wet. She still got that wet. I gotta tell you, your mama still got that wet. It's very, very nice. Very, very nice. Sure, I'm driving to Diddy's house. Anyway, Israel is once again committing crimes against the people against a country where it has no business. Frank and Murillo asked me to stop the mama BS. Well, just like I told them, if you don't like what I got going on and what I'm saying, you can get out of here too. I don't understand. Yeah, if you don't like what I'm talking about, if you're losing interest, then y'all should just leave. Or I can have my mods escort you out. It's that simple. It's that simple. I can address whatever I want to address during my live stream in my chat. If you don't like it, you can go and get the hell on, you and your mama. Anyway, At the end of the day, Israel is on some bullshit. If it was okay to attack a country because two groups are fighting that have nothing to do with you, then there will be never-ending war. Well, there already is never-ending war, but it will be more. It will be exponentially more never-ending wars, and that's not something that would lead to a prosperous future in this on this earth. We can't keep getting into other people's business. There are atrocities going on all over the world, right? There are atrocities going on all over the world. No, there's no possible way for us to there's no possible way for all of it to be addressed by everybody. The United States can't police everything in the entire world. Israel can't police everything in the entire goddamn Middle East. It's impossible. You'll constantly be spending money to commit violence. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of life. It's a waste of time and energy. There are so many things that Israel could be doing for its own country if it were not trying to exert its will all over the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this need to, we got to go around telling all these other countries what to do. Just like with Iran. Well, it's not up to us. It's not for us to decide if Israel or if Iran can have nuclear capabilities or not. Because we have nuclear capabilities. So who said that we could have nuclear capabilities? Who gave us permission? Oh, we got the bigger military. We got the most advanced military technology. So no, can't nobody tell us shit, right? So we so big and bad, we can have nuclear capabilities. Israel so big and bad, they can have nuclear capabilities. Russia, Japan, China, North Korea. All these countries. We're not flying around. We're not sending our B-2 bombers to all these countries and dropping bunker busters on them. So why did this happen to Iran? You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. It's hypocrisy. And it's none of our fucking business, right? Nuclear weapons exist. Conflict exists. Atrocities exist all over the world. There's nothing that we can do about all of it. It's just part of human nature. It's part of nature in general. Animals have conflict amongst each other. One pride of lions will beef with another pride of lions that have overlapping territories. This is just what it is. You know, that's just how this shit works, man. This is reality. So, should we just start wiping out prides of lions that we don't like because they're attacking another pride of lions? Some bullshit. Anyway, I'm getting out of here, y'all. America is a bully. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares, if you shared. Thank you for your disagreement. Thank you for all that. I'm gonna get out of here and get to work. Much love, like, share, subscribe. Y'all be safe out there. We're gonna keep marching forward.